From the luxurious Rolls-Royce Wraith Coupe to his reliable 2007 Ford Excursion, here's every car in Tyrese Gibson's insane collection. The actor and R&B singer became a household name after playing Roman Pierce in the franchise. And just like his Fast and Furious character, he loves himself some fine automobiles. Just take a look at the glamorous Rolls-Royce Wraith he drives, and you'll get what I mean. He picked up this bad boy back in 2015, and he apparently traded in a Fisker Karma for it. In case you don't know, the Fisker Karma is a luxury EV, but something tells me that Tyrese didn't like it very much. But then again, many would say that this Rolls-Royce is simply the superior vehicle. It costs around 300 grand to buy one, so he probably had to fork over a ton of cash even after trading in the Fisker Karma. That just goes to show how dedicated he is to his collection. The man likes the finer things in life, and with the Wraith, he probably rolls around feeling like $1,000,000. The luxury interior features sophisticated dark wood paneling, with chairs that feel like sofas and give unparalleled comfort while you drive. The rich leather on the chairs is an unmistakable sign of class, and with deep pile carpets that wouldn't look out of place in a sprawling mansion, you can see why Tyrese wanted to get his hands on this vehicle. As for the performance, the Wraith has a twin-turbo V12 that allows it to go from 0 to 60 in just 4.4 seconds. Those are some blinding speeds, which is exactly what you'd expect from the most powerful car Rolls-Royce has ever released. Tyrese has mentioned that this is one of his favorite cars in interviews, mentioning that it can go extremely fast while staying surprisingly silent and that it's the best car he's ever driven. If there's one thing you'll notice about the star, it's that he has an enduring passion for the British car manufacturer. In fact, when his oldest daughter Shayla graduated from the 9th grade, he decided to gift her a Rolls-Royce Ghost. This is yet another luxury sedan that sets Rolls-Royce apart from the rest. So when Tyrese realized that he wouldn't be able to attend the graduation ceremony, he decided to splurge and treat her to something nice. He wasn't just trying to buy her affection, by the way. Tyrese couldn't attend the ceremony because he was busy working and earning a living for his family, and he openly admitted that he felt like a horrible father for not being there. This car was a way for him to show his daughter how proud he was of her achievement, and he wanted to make sure she got to celebrate in style. She wasn't old enough to drive when she got the car, but there's nothing wrong with having a luxury vehicle waiting for you when you finally pass that driver's test. And she's definitely going to need some training before she gets behind the wheel, because this car packs 563 horsepower and can accelerate from 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds. That's not quite as fast as the Wraith, but it's definitely faster than something a new driver would be able to handle. With top speeds hitting 155 miles per hour, Shayla's probably going to be zooming all over town as soon as she's old enough to drive. And the sleek appearance of the luxury vehicle will definitely make a bold statement. Considering he bought her a Rolls-Royce for graduating from the 9th grade, one has to wonder what he'll get her on her 18th birthday. A private jet, perhaps? Jokes aside, Tyrese is no stranger to spending the big bucks on the best examples of automotive excellence. Any self-respecting car collector is bound to have a muscle car or two in their collection, and Tyrese is no different. That's why he invested in a 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle SS. Fast and Furious fans would know that this is one of the most iconic cars driven by Dom Toretto in the franchise, and Tyrese thinks very highly of it as well. In his opinion, the Chevelle SS represents a bygone era when American muscle cars were all the rage. The golden age of these powerful vehicles was a dream come true for drivers, so it makes sense that Tyrese would want a piece of this history in his garage. The SS in this case stands for Super Sport, which should tell you a thing or two about the kind of performance it brings to the table. Word on the street is that Tyrese restored the car before adding it to his collection, making it just one of many classic vehicles he's amassed over the years. He also owns another amazing relic from the heyday of muscle cars, namely 1970 Plymouth GTX. I should note that this version of the car came with a slightly modified grille, not to mention those rear headlights. As surprising as it might sound, previous iterations of the Plymouth GTX didn't have any lights in the back, so it must have been pretty hard to reverse them at night. But that said, the car got a huge style upgrade to ring in the 70s, including smoother lines and the power bulge that eventually became one of the best-known aspects of the car. Tyrese apparently had it customized though, so there's no telling how the one in his garage might look, but I'm willing to bet that it's extremely tastefully designed. After all, his old-school cars are among the most cherished additions to his collection. He also owns a 1971 Plymouth Roadrunner, so you can tell how serious the man is about his passion. The first thing you need to know about car manufacturing in the 90s is that muscle cars were undergoing a massive period of transition. They used to be cheap cars that anyone could afford, but in this new decade, manufacturers started adding a ton of new features to turn them into flagship additions to their product line. Roadrunner was part of Plymouth's shift towards vehicles that offered exceptional performance in a slightly more affordable package than the GTX. Of course, buying this car in the 21st century is another matter entirely. The Plymouth brand lost some of its charm around the 1990s, and it was discontinued by Chrysler at the turn of the millennium. This meant that buying old-school Plymouths became harder than ever. Though that's probably not an issue for a man of means like Tyrese Gibson. He takes great pride in this car, just like the other two 1970s vehicles I talked about. At the same time, they're so valuable that he probably doesn't dare drive them on the open road like his Rolls-Royce Wraith. That doesn't mean they're sitting around gathering dust. He might take them for a spin on special occasions, but nothing too crazy, because he wouldn't want to damage them in any way. That's probably not how he treats his Maserati Gran Turismo, though. The name alone should tell you how expensive this car is, because Italian brands like Maserati are pretty much exclusively for the upper crust. The interior is designed with Italian architecture in mind, using sleek regenerated nylon fiber to great effect. Tyrese has the 2011 version of this car, and he rates it a 10 out of 10. What he loves most about it is the excellent speeds it can reach in the blink of an eye, which basically means that he drives this car around fairly regularly. He's acknowledged that he uses this car from time to time, because it's great for everyday use while offering incredible speeds. Now, if you ever spot Tyrese in his Maserati, you'll notice that it's gleaming white. Most of the cars in his collection are white, in fact, because that's just the color that the actor prefers. He's also customized it a fair bit, especially with those fancy rims, but he hasn't gone for anything too ostentatious. You see, Tyrese is a man of rather refined tastes, so he's not one to get splashy finishes or vibrant colors. He also likes to support American automakers, which is why he also drives a 2007 Ford Excursion. Everyone needs to support their country of origin, right? In Tyrese's case, he gets to expand his collection at the same time, which sounds like a great way to shoot two birds with one stone. He also loves how spacious it is, because he can easily fit a dozen people inside with room to spare. When you're a guy with an active social life, you need a nice big car for parties and other events. So this Ford Excursion must be a lifesaver. Then again, it's not like Tyrese has any shortage of big cars. If the Excursion is ever unavailable, he always has his trusty 2010 Range Rover lying in wait. These might not sound like the flashiest cars in his garage, especially after hearing about the Maserati and Rolls-Royce, but they're dependable and offer solid performance with plenty of luxury. Their off-road capabilities are also a major benefit. So, which of these cars would you want in your own garage? All of them, or just a few? Either way, from the 2007 Ford Excursion and its massive cabin space to the glittering Rolls-Royce Wraith, these were just some of the cars from Tyrese Gibson's insane collection.